What else could I do for the space station?
Great.
More enemies. Time for a buzz.
Some value, I suppose. Eternal.
Specimen sighted.
Don't mess with me.
Existence is unity.
What a headache.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
This combat needs up. This is double speed.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Can I have fun this time?
great. Great.
Eternal. Specimen sighted.
Don't mess with me. No one misses the Marstruck.
Stop the bleeding.
What a headache.
Existence is unity.
Don't mess with me. Who's next? I'll end your misery.
Commencing research.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
No one misses the Marstruck. By the order of the Ten Lords. Execute the Marstruck! No one misses the Marstruck.
To travel far away.
Grace and elegance. Existence is unity. Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Specimen sighted.
It's time. What a headache.
There's more to life. Eternal. Commencing research.
Don't mess with me. What a headache. I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. No one misses the Marstruck. Don't mess with me.
Existence is unity.
Commencing research.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
By the order of the Ten Lords, execute the Marstruck! No one missed the Marstruck.
To travel far away.
Don't mess with me. Do you admit this crime? No one missed the Marstruck.
Specimen sighted.
Some value, I suppose.
Commencing research. To travel far. Stop the bleeding.
It's time. What a headache. I'll end your misery. No one missed the Marstruck.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
By the order of the Ten Lords, execute the Marstruck! No one missed the Marstruck.
Specimen sighted.
You could have surrendered.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind. Eternal.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. By the order of the Ten Lords, execute the Marstruck!
Existence is unity.
Don't mess with me. What a headache. Don't mess with me. Do you admit this crime?
Eternal.
Only a scratch. Who's next?
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
No enemies to the Marastruck. What a headache. By the order of the Ten Lords, execute the Marastruck! No enemies to the Marastruck. What if it hurts?
To travel far away.
It's time.
You learn to know yourself before your enemy. For the fear of the mediocre. Is that all?
Do we still have the upper hand?
Your answers? Test. Fail.
This ends here.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Answer me. 0 points. SAS Perkibi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
In the name of Landau, a will forged in ice never falters!
Enemy targets detected.
Failed. 0 points. I'm asking questions. Test.
We have the upper hand. Ready for another? Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Ready for another?
Here to crash the party?
Let's rock!
Stand still. Didn't hurt. Not bad. Pretty good crowd today.
Good times never last. Time to say bye. Boom.
Turn it up!
We're just having fun. What are you waiting for? To betray my customers, I charge extra.
Say bye to breathing.
Ready to lose yourself? You can fight it, or rock with it! Keep up!
Relax. This isn't the end.
Harnessing and tempering the instincts of life. Huh. You know more of such things than myself.
Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? She's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
She's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either. Ah, that's right! They're called Heliobi. I guess you could say that Wubbaboos and Heliobi are sort of like cousins. Both are types of energy life form. Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That's most likely the truth. Let me remember my initial conversation with Herta, just in case. I need to go over it from the start, starting with the conversation I had with Herta.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy life form. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio, after which you knew nothing else until Lady Asta contacted you. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama?
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate his story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. It can still help us reach the truth. If he is truly innocent, he can clear his name with answers. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard for me to imagine she would treasure one curio so much.
I doubt Herta is interested in the curio itself.
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough pretending. Please be quiet. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Did no one teach you manners? Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough pretending. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically...
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough based on your story, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough pretending, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough and the assignment involves a...
Herta didn't mention the name of the curio. We were talking about something else, and she just mentioned it in passing. However, she did give a thorough description of the curio. I didn't make that up.
True. You wouldn't be able to make that up.
Why do I feel like I'm being looked down on?
And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough pretending, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard for me to imagine she would treasure one curio so much.
Sure, but you're the one saying the curio in question is ordinary.
Say what you want to say.
A correct observation, if I may add.
Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio?
I doubt Herta is interested in the curio itself.
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard for me to imagine she would treasure one curio so much.
I remember now. Back then.
That's enough. Herta's collection. An endless trove of...
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the Genius Society.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation. It holds some special meaning to Herta.
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio.
Yes, to get more information about the curio. I didn't get a direct answer, but Asta recommended I seek out a researcher who could help.
Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
Mr. Ratio, it's because...
I'm asking him, Lady Asta. Your testimony went out the window the second you started being secretive. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now.
That's enough However, she decided to hold her tongue and...
I remember now.
That's enough. However, she decided to hold her
I remember now.
That's enough. However, so what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
Asta isn't trying to hide anything. It's because of her position. Some things shouldn't be said in the open.
What could be more important than Herta's safety?
I agreed for Mr. Ratio to become involved in this. I should consider him one of us. It's okay. You can tell him.
So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going...
I remember now.
That's enough. So what's the story? Are you...
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management, ever since the Antimatter Legion's invasion. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion, and cause great internal strife.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be linked to the space station, but would still share the IPC's position. They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's benefit. Two birds with one stone. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department.
Yes. I ran into Arlen when looking for Adler.
Adler?
A level 2 researcher. According to the Department of Ecology head, he knows more about curios than anyone else. He happened to be helping Arlen investigate the disappearances.
Well, did he enlighten you?
Adler seemed to have an idea at the time, but he never contacted me again.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting...
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearances, you say?
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers' disappearances, you say?
I remember now.
That's enough. Researchers Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
No connection? I disagree. There should be evidence linking them together. If I review a certain record...
Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. Don't know the location. Isn't that the same as missing?
She did say that, but then what? You need to provide evidence to show incidents are linked.
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was investigating the disappearances. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened. Arlen mentioned that each victim disappeared due to spontaneous combustion.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire anywhere in the space station.
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating when the puppet was attacked, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease. provided that this fire suppression record does exist in the system.
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh? What was that?
Harrider Newsflash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
a declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you. The Legion's impact remains, and the Annihilation Gang is already paying a visit. It almost seems like this space station is more suited for the path of destruction than erudition.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook as their emperor and savior, but the Eon has never cast their gaze upon them.
A group of pitiful lunatics. I like Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child who deliberately broke a vase. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items. Ifrit is particularly evil and cruel, even among his kin. The Everflame mansion he heads is even the arch-enemy of the Japella Brotherhood, despite both groups belonging to the Annihilation Gang.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion, the uprising that caused the downfall of the Brotherhood.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and Ifrit's power has grown by the day ever since. Would you believe it would be merely a coincidence? Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? For him, it's as routine as me finding fault in everything. The disappearance of researchers and the puppet were all part of the plan. And after that, that video will soon circulate. And this station's fate? Flames. Nothing but flames.
The destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than trust will be destroyed here. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You, come with me. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can. Please, investigate the issue quickly.
Ready to squander the remainder of your days?
Kali Capo, all the good taste of Capo.
Not good. This is serious. The security department will do whatever we can to help you.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships. We didn't find anything odd. The Annihilation Gang are a group of die-hard thugs. They might be attacking indiscriminately.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these people. I don't know. That depends on your friend.
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the Department of Ecology, if you would be so kind.
He disappeared too. I didn't really notice at first. Adler's difficult to get a hold of at the best of times. But it's been a few system hours, and I still can't reach him. Even the surveillance cameras can't find any trace. The last time I saw him was in the Master Control Zone. He was with Wen Sherling from the Department of Implement Arts.
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of a discovery, yet couldn't confer his knowledge. Intriguing and frustrating, to say the least. If his disappearance is also related to the case here, then maybe he really did stumble upon something important.
True. The keywords that got Adler thinking were energy life forms. Duke Inferno is also an energy life form. Coincidence? We need to investigate this.
Kali Capo, all the good taste of Capo. Kali Capo, all the good taste of Capo Kali.
That jerk! Jerk, jerk, jerk! Fine! Disappear! I don't ever want to see your face again! Adler, he disappeared. He's been acting really weird recently. like spontaneous combustion, supernatural activities. He doesn't even answer me when I speak to him. He was talking to himself.
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word phrase.
Phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, he was reading this booklet the last time I saw him. I don't know exactly what he's searching for, but I hope it can help you.
Your countenance suggests tragedy. So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. Isn't that a curious puzzle piece? I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It recorded the lives of a few Genius Society members. I'd say it contains some interesting information. It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr. Screwlum.
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading. The incident hasn't grown any bigger, for now. How are things with you?
Less than promising. Or to use a different phrase, we're in deep trouble. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and evaluate the situation. From the data we've collected, there are 3 avenues we can explore. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
Adler also.
You think that Adler's discovery drew the enemy's attention?
Indeed, and I already know what he found. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
I understand. So the answer is...
Tenuous connections. Enough of this nonsense. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
I understand.
Tenuous connection. First, Adler's disappearance.
I understand.
Tenuous first. The next angle is what the victims have in common, distasteful as that discussion may be.
Distasteful discussion?
A mere glance at their background would indicate they share no commonalities. However, after browsing through their online records, you discovered they all wield influence on the space station's dark web. Lady Asta must know what this means. The next angle is what the victims have in common, distasteful as that discussion may be.
I understand.
Tenuous the next angle is what the...
I understand.
Tenuous the next angle is what the victims have...
I understand.
Tenuous connection. The next angle, last, is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of spontaneous human combustion. You probably already know about this. The fire demon of Fatora, the Duke of the Annihilation Gang. There is another secret with Ifrit. Last is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of spontaneous human combustion. During prior unrest instigated by the Everflame Mansion, some testified to seeing miscreants materialize from the Inferno. The flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying a certain property, and this property is the secret behind spontaneous human combustion. Look, the answer is right there. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving numerous scions of flame behind.
It's the phase flame, the creation of member number 29, Serkal. She was an amazing genius, intelligent, kind, and humble. However, she lived for a mere 29 days on the human calendar. Such a pity. The phase flame shifted into a different phase as soon as it was created. When it returned to this phase, Serkal had already passed away. It then continued to shift through phases, making its capture impossible.
This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving numerous scions.
I understand.
Tenuous connection. This booklet describes the kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been searching for, and Duke Inferno is evidently spawned from it.
Somebody was once able to glimpse the traces of the phase flame and obtained a wisp of its kindling. Herta kept it and lent it to Ron May for her research, but the kindling was lost in the process. If Ifrit is a scion of the phase flame, then the entire incident is now clear as day.
The kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been searching for, and Duke Inferno.
I understand.
Tenuous the kindling of this I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. Undoubtedly, the curio Herta asked to find was the phase flame. And Adler already discovered the relationship between spontaneous human combustion and the phase flame through the concept of energy life forms. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
I understand.
Tenuous connect. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
I understand.
Tenuous I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. When Schurling said, Adler kept muttering about a phrase before he disappeared. I believe this word was actually phase. He saw Member 29 Sir Call's research topic in this booklet and verified his hypothesis. As a scion of the phase flame, Duke Inferno would naturally share similar capabilities. Full-on phase shifting may be a bit too ambitious for him, but teleportation, that's likely more his speed. That is the truth of the spontaneous human combustion. The researchers didn't disappear. They were moved. We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's plan is now clear. And the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best environment for chaos to fester. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. It will push the crisis from the dark into the light, catalyzing it into new growth and bloom. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
This...
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. If it were me, I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Her life was not in danger. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame, lacking any phase shift ability. Logic. Asta is still within the confines of the space station.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station. Find it, and a way to bring her back.
A splinter, you say? The arrogance of the gifted is charming in its own way. Try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak havoc among the researchers. When the fire fizzles out, his malevolent plans will vanish without a trace.
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. With some changes to its parameters, I can use it to block the fire's teleportation routes and seal it inside the station. Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr. Trailblazer and contain the fire.
The infernal fire is also a form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. Follow it. The way is awash with flames. It must have just teleported. Be careful. Get ready to dash into the fire. See? It's still in the space station. Like Skrullum said, it cannot escape from here. Do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt it to the death.
The fire is dying. This place is strange.
It's still resisting. The fold and the...
Sound Raiders.
For the theater of the mediocre.
Existence is unity.
Your answers? Just fail.
There's more to life. Eternal.
Commencing research.
I will dispatch you. The fight is set.
Mediocre. Answer me. 0 points.
Some value, I suppose. Existence is unity.
Too little.
There's more to life. Eternal.
Commencing research.
A blade knows no mercy. Your end approaches.
To travel far.
Unnecessary.
Specimen sighted.
Failed to send you.
Every step is just a part of the adventure.
Grace and elegance. Existence is unity.
Commencing research.
The fight is set.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
Why? This has nothing to do with you.
The flame is getting weaker. Duke Inferno can't maintain it anymore. Your answers?
Grace and elegance. Existence is unity.
it approaches.
There's more to life.
I'm asking questions.
What is your goal?
Seems like this chase is about to end. For the theater of the mediocre.
That paradise may savor it for me.
Me. 0 points.
Some value, I suppose. Existence is unity.
Specimen sighted.
Sound lingers. Eternal.
Your answers? Just fail.
There's more to life. Existence is unity.
SAS per kib. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
To travel far.
I'm asking questions. Answer me.
I will dispatch you.
Some value, I suppose.
A blade knows no mercy. The fight is set.
It's over.
Ignorant fools blindly chasing the firelight, not knowing that the blessings of destruction already lie at their feet. It is little wonder that even the scent of the Savior's Legion was unable to cleanse this place. I will acknowledge my brashness. For now. But next time, expect no intermediaries. I will come to personally offer you the demise of your sins with infernal fire.
A small fragment of consciousness in there is gone. Duke Inferno has discarded this fire. Oh? No. Hold on. The banal theatrics of stalling. Let's not, shall we?
That paradise may be unreachable from... Savor it for me.
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind. Some value, I suppose. Eternal.
Specimen sighted. Deeper.
Unnecessary. Well timed.
Grace and elegance.
SAS per kib. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
will dispatch you. Your end approaches.
I'm asking questions.
To travel far away.
So this is the warmth of life.
0 points.
Specimen sighted.
A blade knows no mercy.
So this is the extent of miscreants materializing from the Inferno. Seems like Dr. Primitive wasn't wrong.
Eternal.
Commencing research.
Failed to send you.
Don't give on yourself.
Test. 0 points.
Your fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts.
Like all will be swept away by the wind. Existence is unity.
Specimen sighted.
Merciful Medicus.
Enjoying yourself?
That paradise may be a savor it for me.
I'm asking questions.
Answer me.
Grace and elegance.
Commencing research. Deeper.
So this
I will
is the
dispatch
warmth of life.
Chaos Percipi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Zero points. Test. Feel immortality.
Good work. You did very well. Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. She is recovering in the clinic. While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. Affirmation. They are all safe and sound. It was all thanks to Adler. They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's most knowledgeable curio expert solved it from within. Many of them were shaken by their experience when Arlen found them, but they are otherwise fine. Yes, it is over. This business is over, and I believe the space station will be able to deal with any internal aftershocks. In Herta's stead, I thank you for your efforts, sir. But there is one mystery that remains unsolved. And that is something I must deal with myself. I've been waiting.
Fallout from this incident. Surely you have plenty of pressing matters to attend to. Or is the safety of the space station beneath your concern?
Answer. That is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair is right here.
When did you start to doubt me?
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say, I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlum. But do explain, why opt for silent wisdom when you already had the pieces of the puzzle?
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation. I made the same decision as you, to accompany and observe.
Oh, and when did you become convinced?
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack, which never aligned with the Annihilation Gang's modus operandi. Logic? A third party saved them.
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the phase flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation, those people would already be space waste, floating past the windows here.
You are more candid than I calculated.
But still behaving within your calculations, no? One last question, Screwlum. Genius though you are, can you deduce why I did this?
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, but maintaining a cool, detached observation reveals the strictness of a scholar. And pulling the strings from behind the curtain is akin to laying down the gauntlet to a genius.
The ruler of planet Screwlum is indeed well-versed in the human mind. It's a pity you're as much in the ivory tower as other geniuses. You still got one thing wrong. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one can give. There is a disease called foolishness that is harder to cure than any ailment. The path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace their footsteps. Those less gifted have no choice but to walk alone, enduring a lifetime of tumbles and triumphs. But even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of solitude and despair, when help is absent, that fools grasp how to pick themselves up. I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread. Regrettably, this space station is just like the Intelligentsia Guild, devoid of geniuses and filled with mediocrity.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my questions. As for the answers, they'll find them themselves. Pursuit tinged with negativity is still pursuit, and it is capable of leading us to the right conclusion. For the masses of the mediocre to reach a level of awareness, this is a necessary rite of passage.
You are indeed more like a medical doctor than a scholar.
As for the spark I leave behind,
I believe Asta will deal with it properly.
It is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look forward to future encounters with such brilliant minds. Let's hope they're as memorable as those we had today. A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.
Seems this path is no good either.
Sound Raiders.
Glory above all. Glory above all.
Eternal. Oh?
Your answers? Just fail.
There's more to life. Existence is unity.
I'm asking questions. Answer me.
Wretched and fleeting.
Oh? Eternal.
Just 0 points. My oath is to a solitary rose. Beauty is eternal.
Enjoying yourself? Some value, I suppose. Existence is unity.
Your answers?
My guiding light. Wretched and fleeting.
There's more to life.
I'm asking questions. Answer me.
Beauty is eternal.
Life. A true marvel.
The more I learn about it, the more I love the starry sky. The more I learn about it, the more I love the starry sky.
You finally got some leisure time.
Take a rest. It's time for tea and cakes. Some value, I suppose. Eternal.
I think something bit me. Do you admit this crime?
SAS Perkibi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood. 0 points.
Existence is unity.
I'm asking questions. Just.
Commencing research.
It's time.
There's more to life.
Answer me.
Every Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind. Some value, I suppose.
Your answers?
Specimen sighted.
Got the defense? Answer me.
Life. A true marvel. Grace and elegance.
Do you admit this crime? No one misses the marstruck.
Grace and elegance. Eternal.
Answer me. 0 points.
It's time. No one misses the marstruck.
My guiding light.
Do you admit this crime?
Every petal in life, all will be swept away by the wind.
By the order of the Ten Lords, execute the Marastruck! No one missed the Marastruck.
I'm asking questions. SAS Perkibi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood. Criminal. Test. Fail.
My oath is to a solitary rose. Wretched and fleeting. Until I see, I will protect all beauty. My guiding light. Beauty is eternal.
Take a rest. It's time for tea and cakes.
Hey, it's you! I didn't expect to see you here in the administrative district. How have you been lately? Great to hear. Since the Stellaron crisis subsided, Belobog's been feeling a little more cheerful. We're really grateful for your assistance. And yes, things are going well for me, too. Thanks for asking. You spent so much time in Belobog on your last visit. You must have passed by here before, right? This is Belobog's History and Culture Museum, built more than 600 years ago. Last time you visited, it was closed for its 10-year renovation. Now that the Stellaron crisis is over, we've been able to allocate more manpower to the renovation works. The museum should be open to the public again soon. It's just... we encountered a problem during the renovation process. The Silvermane guards are doing all they can to figure it out. Sorry. I shouldn't talk about it in the open like this. Hey, why don't I give you a tour of the museum? We can talk inside if you have time, that is. Great. What are we waiting for? Welcome to Belobog's History and Culture Museum. As you can see, after nearly 100 days of renovation, the interior looks brand new. However, there's a problem that needs to be resolved before it can open to the public. The museum was established nearly 600 years ago as a memorial to honor Alyssa Rand, the first Supreme Guardian, and the martyrs who gave their lives in the battle against the invaders from beyond the sky. As time went on, new exhibits were continually added to the memorial until it became the museum we see today. Past the reception hall, you'll find the General Hall, the museum's largest exhibition room. There are all sorts of exhibits on display. Paintings by famous artists, samples of the planet's crust. Visitors can experience the essence of Belobog's culture in just a few minutes' time. I really hope the museum can open up soon. The children here need a culturally enriching environment, especially those from the underworld. But like I mentioned earlier, we're in a bit of a bind. We could really use a helping hand. Here, this is the issue we're trying to deal with. Wow, you're quick. Yes, this exhibit was stolen just recently. It was one of the oldest and most precious items in the General Hall collection, the meteor fragment. It is said that 700 years ago, the invaders from beyond the sky descended upon the surface of Eurillo 6 with a meteor shower. The meteor fragment is solid evidence that those invaders once tainted our land. Sorry, the tour guide in me gets a little carried away. I'm not here to give you a history lesson. Still, it's no exaggeration to say that if the meteor fragment isn't recovered, the museum will lose half of its significance. Not yet. That's why this case is such a conundrum for the Silvermane guards. Truth be told, the meteor fragment isn't the only item that was stolen, but we want the museum to open as soon as possible. We can worry about the other missing items later. Of course! I wouldn't ask you to start a whole investigation from scratch. The guards stationed in the underworld reported that some suspicious characters have been meeting at a hideout in the Great Mine late at night. Since the Silvermane guards are still getting situated in the underworld and we don't have any direct evidence, we haven't been able to apprehend any suspects. But if you were to go there yourself and ask around, I think we could gather a lot of useful intel. So, would you like to help solve this case? Excellent. Just as I expected. Short, sweet, and decisive. To the underworld it is, then. The conditions here are so rudimentary. I wonder how long those people have been living here. Back to the investigation. We contacted an agent from Wildfire. Apparently she has some first-hand intel. I think her name was... Sweta? Yes, that's right. Let's go pay her a visit.